Well, hello, everyone. I hope you are having a good day. It has been chilly and damp and kind of dank here in the Houston area. But you know what? I've enjoyed having my pups next to me as I've watched some creepy movies because I love the horror genre. It's just my thing. Hey, Beth, how are you doing? I'm glad you are here to see what Timmy has to say. And now I can't call him Tim. I have to call him Timmy. And I have with me Brian, who is actually part of Zeus's Bounty and doesn't know how he can get out of it because there's like no escape hatch. And so he's going to be here with me to kind of watch this latest, I guess, opportunity webinar that Tim hosted or Timmy hosted and, give us his insight since he is an insider of this particular scheme. Hey there. Hey there, Chris. How are you doing? Hey, Brian. How are you?
Hey, doing great. Thank you for letting me join you tonight.
I am so happy that you were able to, because I think that there's no way that we can do this full justice unless we have somebody from the inside. So I'm really excited that you are here, and I'm glad that you are willing to speak out.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
Well, I don't want us to, just sit here and do nothing and think we will just go ahead and hop into it. Let me find which one it is. It's this one. Okay. So this is called Metaverse Update and Opportunity Call. So this is what we are going to be watching. Do I have it rewound? Yes, I do. So it's a little bit over an hour. So if you want me to pause it, let me know. And if I want to pause it, I'll just pause it and say whatever. But let's just hit it and see what we see. How's that sound?
Sounds great. Thank you.
Cool. There's Timmy. A network error caused the media download to fail part way. Okay, hang on a second. I'm wondering if he took it offline or something as soon as I started. Let's see. I'm going to do something else. Will it let me download? Yes. If it lets me download it real quick, then we will play it that way.
Yeah, usually I think so. You're trying to use a link to YouTube, I'm assuming,
Well,
and
it's a Zoom. It's to a Zoom call.
oh, Zoom call. Okay, and it's
Mhm.
the recording. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I've got it this other way, so we don't have to worry about any of that. Okay, give me a moment here, and we will redo this. And oh, it's not showing up right now over there. Let's see. Are you seeing anything or are you seeing nothing?
Well, this may be the Zeus Bounty, but I think that's
Yeah,
not
that is
Tim.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I can always do? I have another solution. And we're just doing this on the fly. And my solution is I'm going to take what I just downloaded it and upload it to YouTube and make it unlisted and play it from there. There's always another way to skin this cat. Oh, so it may
Well,
be a
you're a
glitch.
lot better than I am with all this YouTube and video stuff, and it gets pretty complicated.
What? Where's the? I don't want the playlists. Sorry, guys. This is, real life things that happen. Don't worry about the monetization. and it's unlisted. Okay. So it's going to take just a couple, it probably won't take that long. It's saying 93% complete. So we're just kind of like hanging out here. And I know yesterday you were talking about how you can't get out, but then you were thinking like if you opened up another wallet, you'd be able to transfer your Binance coin into it.
Yeah, so I think I look more into that, and that looks like that would be a solution. It wouldn't be actually getting out of Zeus, but at least the little bit I have in the wallet, which is like point 4 at this point or something like that. It's $30 or so, $20. I could at least get it moved over. And like I said yesterday, the risk is that when you have a wallet connected to anybody's digital app like Zeus, the contract creator can actually take everything from your wallet. So it's probably never a good idea to leave any cryptocurrency in a wallet attached to a digital app like that.
Now, just out of curiosity, have you ever heard anybody who is involved in Zeus's bounty, kind of like behind the scenes, kind of in an uproar and questioning? Because I know yesterday you showed us a couple of instances, but have you had conversations with people where they're kind of like doubting all of it and thinking, we really, maybe I shouldn't be part of this?
Yeah, I've had several people, mostly like I said, between my daughter and I think we had like 12 on the downline. Then also, spoke with my nephew, and he's very not happy about it. And so, I think that what I'm seeing is, the only people that are happy about it's maybe 10 people, and those are people at the top that was like Tammy's directs. And so I don't think anyone else is happy with it. Unfortunately, the the two Facebook groups are moderated, and so you can't just post a comment. And so anything that's negative won't be shown. And they've also the Telegram group has been shut down to being informational only. So used to
Oh,
you could
really?
yeah, you used to be able, you had a lot of comments at Telegram where people were upset, and then about a week ago, Timmy said, "Oh, we're shutting it down. It'll be informational only." And so, yeah, there's not really a forum to just post complaints or talk about it. So you kind of have to do it informally outside of Zeus's online channels.
So they're really controlling the information people get.
Yes, they are. They just they're, and it's been like I said, they've also got an attorney now involved, and so in some ways maybe they're trying to backtrack a little bit, but
Clean it
again it
up.
doesn't yeah, clean it up. But he's already gotten about $700,000 from this, and so kind of too late in my book.
Yeah. Now I do have, as we're waiting for this to render in YouTube and everything, let me see, I'm still at 95%. I do have the most recent compensation plan that is from February 22nd. Do you know how it's different than what the original compensation plan was?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure about that. I think probably what the compensation plan now has is, with this NFT, which is was it Zeus Chariot or something, which is some sort of
Yes,
horse
yes.
racing game or chariot racing, which is really just gambling. But the I if you put your $1,000 in it plus pay your $150 in fees to be able to get set up, then you would be entitled to get 5% of the money made from this NFT being brought back as B&B And what I found out was I thought it was for everyone. I thought it was like a stimulator of Zeus Bounty, but only the 250 people that put in the $1,150 would be able to get part of that 5%. And again, they don't have software for it yet. It's being developed. They lost their developing team, and so they found a new one, and so it's probably at least a few months down the road before the game will be available. But the thought is that you'd get some B&B as part of this group of 250 people. So that's my assumption.
What's going on, everybody?
Oops, hang on a second. Timmy just started somewhere.
It was good to see you. We were a few minutes early for sure, so just wanted to fire this up.
What is this?
Get everybody.
Okay, that started working again. All right, the other one is uploading. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, that was fine. That was kind of scary for a moment hearing him just pop in like that. But no, I think that basically it's that's where the change is about. Now there'll be this NFT, and so I think they had to add some stuff about that. Plus, maybe the attorneys have told them to revamp the compensation plan. So honestly, I haven't been involved too much the last few weeks. I've kind of, distanced myself from it. I still talk to folks, but, I'm not quite as involved as I was.
And so when you talk to folks, do you talk about are people still excited about it, or are they just a little bit discontent?
Oh, they're just, they're very upset about it. I mean, they talk about how Tim is a scammer, that, they use words that we don't want to repeat on, with children's ears. And so, yeah, they're very, everybody I've talked to is very upset. They feel like that it's not what they were told it was. And also, it seems to be that people are just really upset that everything continues to change. It just seems like everything changes on the fly.
Like all the time.
Yes.
Well, let's go ahead and see what Tim has to say. Timmy. And the other one is still processing. So if something happens here, we have a backup.
Okay.
Going.
Good.
Hi, Anna. Good to see you. Hey, Al. How you doing, buddy?
What's up?
Oh, man. It's just been a long day. Crunching numbers and writing stuff down and way too much typing and computer time.
You need a break, man.
Yeah, well, I had a break over the weekend. I went golfing, and then last night or Monday night I went bowling, and back to back was brutal. Man, I went golfing on Sunday. Hey, everybody, welcome to the webinar. And I didn't go to the golf course that I wanted to. We have one of the top-rated golf courses it is the top-rated golf course in Colorado, a residential golf course called Redlands Mesa, and it's a brutal course, man. It's hiking and golfing all at once, and I didn't want to golf there for that reason, because it was the first session of the season. So I made a tee time out at another golf course called Adobe Creek, and we go out there, and I walk up into the clubhouse, and the first thing I notice is there's no carts out there. And then I noticed everybody's pool cart, and I'm like, oh, no. This is walking only. They don't have the carts out yet because the ground is frozen. They don't want to damage the grass. So I was golfing with my buddy Derek, and I walk out to the park, and I'm like, dude, they only have walking only, man. I'm not prepared to walk 18 holes. So we ended up going over to Redlands Mesa, shooting 18 holes. And man, that was a brutal course. And then the next day we bowled 3 games. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, right? Like golfing and bowling, and I'm complaining because it was a lot of physical exercise. But it was. it just was. Hey, Clint, good to see you, buddy. Hey, Dan. Good to see you. I'm going to allow you to talk as always, buddy, because you're just a great moderator. I love it.
What's up, Team Bentley?
How you doing, buddy?
Well, I've had better weeks, but hey, I'm alive. Can't complain.
Yeah, well, you're right. You can't, because it doesn't do any good.
So I'm guessing, Brian, that these two guys, Al and Dan, are part of that inner circle, those top people. Am I right?
Yes, they are. Yeah. Dan is one of the biggest apologists and disciples of, of, of Timmy and Zeus.
He was in my chat with the first stream that I did and was
Oh,
being
really?
was there.
Yeah.
It was
Interesting.
funny.
Put that negative energy out there and you just get more of it. A lot of familiar faces. Hey, Phil, good to see you, buddy. Hey, Orlando, good to see you. Mark, great to see you. Mary, wonderful. Wonderful to see you guys. Rick, how you doing, buddy? Roger, this is awesome. I think you guys are going to like this presentation. It seems a little extreme, and I'm not going to disagree with you. It does seem extreme. And I can tell you that this light is really bright. I'm going to tone that down a little bit. I think that's a little better. That this market is so hot, it's insane. The NFT market, the metaverse market, they're merging together, and it's insanity that's happening out there right now. So we had about 170 people or so registered. So we only got 39 here right now. It's 5 o'clock on the dot. We're going to give it a little more.
Well, I think that tells you something right there. If over 100 people registered and you
Yep.
have like maybe a quarter of them that show up, they're not really going, "Yay, I can't wait to go to this thing."
Yeah, exactly. So he's saying 170 registered, which that seems to be about, before it was a couple of hundred and you would have maybe 100, 150, and now you're seeing that it's less than 50 people. And then also just one of his, I guess you notice he always says hello to different people. I think that's an actual affiliate marketing type, online marketing ploy, and basically it's to let people know, hey, this is really a live webinar and there's real people here and all that.
Yeah.
Time to let some people join. So Ron, hey, good to see you, buddy. Regino. All right. Kyle Dunn, good to see you, bud.
Feels like a reunion.
Yeah, right. Yeah, things are going to get really exciting, man, on both fronts, not just Zeus's Chariots, but Zeus's Bounty as well. We're bringing a lot of new things to the table, going to be hitting the advertising, going to start things going. So things are going to get really exciting. 2022 is going to be amazing still. And yeah, it's unbelievable what's happening in the world right now.
He does not sound that excited.
Hey, Chuck, good to see you, buddy. 46 on board right now. Everybody, welcome to the webinar. We're going to get started here in just a couple of minutes.
Hey, how's Brody feeling?
Hurt. He had an MRI today. We'll know the results tomorrow.
Gotcha.
Playoffs start Friday. More than likely, the team's going to go to state. I mean, they dominate everybody in their class. It's not even close. So I appreciate that. Yeah. He crushed his knee pretty good. We don't know exactly what happened. His whole leg's been swollen since it happened, all the way down to his.
So I'm guessing that he's talking about his son and how he used his son in the playoffs as the excuse for why they're not having a webinar this coming Sunday, because they usually have webinars on Sundays. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's exactly correct. And I know that there's only been, for several weeks you were having, 300-400 people join a week, and now it's trickled down. And this week it's been less than 100. It's not even, we're about, I think Zeus is about 48, 80 as far as the number of members. And, it's maybe been 40 or 50 new people this week. So it's not doing too well.
Not kicking off the way he thought it would.
No, especially when he said it would be about 10. He said on day one, be 5,000 or I think 10,000. And he said after the first month,
right, which didn't happen.
100,000. And so definitely not meeting those projections.
His foot, his ankle. He's got no kneecap. It's full of fluid. They don't drain it anymore, apparently. So had an MRI today. We'll get results here in 24 hours. Good to see you, Joe Semino. In the house. Woof, woof, woof. Literally. Woof, woof. Paul, hey, great to see you, Paul. For those of you that don't know, Josemino trains dogs. So, and one of his dogs is named Zeus. So when I first told him about this, well before we launched, he thought it was kismet. Well before we launched.
And that's funny because he trains dogs. His dog's named Zeus. The guy on the Georgia Bulldogs, his nickname is Zeus.
Yeah, a lot of coincidences, if you believe in coincidences.
A new movie coming out is named Zeus.
Yeah, that's another factor that I didn't even, obviously you can't count on those kinds of things, right? But it's timing. It's just things come together in a natural way. And what we're bringing to the table, it's not like we're forcing anything to the market or to the public. It's going to fit right in seamlessly, and it's going to be amazing. So we got 53 people on board. Welcome, everybody. We're going to get started in like 2 minutes. It's 5:03. So hopefully some more people pile on. We got about a third of what was registered, which is pretty typical for a webinar. And you might have noticed we're still on Zoom. We should be having ZB webinar here very, very soon. We just had some little bit of issues with it. In fact, it's that team getting fixed. So
I'll be able to talk.
Yeah, let's hope so. When we did the test, Dan's microphone sounded like he was underwater. Everybody else was perfectly fine. But, one of the guys that we rely on and that talk the most, his microphone sounded like he was in the ocean.
Because I got a fancy mic.
Yeah, right. Michael, if you have no sound, it's got to be on your end, buddy. I think everybody else can hear us fine. Let's give it one more minute. So it's 5 o'clock for me, guys. It's midnight for Al. He's a bit of a night owl.
Yes, pretty late.
Hey, there you go.
And he needs to be quiet because there's other people in the house that are sleeping at this hour.
Yeah.
So he would normally probably prefer to be doing a lot more talking.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a better voice than I do. He's got that like I said. So you can hear them. All right, we got 58 people more. This is 5:05. We're going to go ahead and get started. We'll turn on the live transcripts for anybody that might need them. Feel free to disable them on your own side under your control bar on Zoom. You can disable them if they're in your way. I am going to ask you right now if you can just close out any other distractions that you might have going on. Facebook, mute your cell phone, put it to the side, close the door. This is going to be some really interesting stuff, guys. This isn't this isn't crumbs. This isn't scraps. This is something that is going to be very serious. So do yourself a favor, mute out any other distractions that you have going on right now, and give us 100% of your attention. Stay to the end of this webinar. We don't have anything special to give you other than the offer that we're going to give you, which is more than special. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen right now. Everybody, you can let me know if you can see my screen. Moderators, let me know if you can see my screen.
Yep, there you are.
Yeah, it took a minute. My computer is lacking resources. So I'm trying to get to the slideshow. I did click the button. And we were just waiting. But I appreciate your patience. My computer is heavily strained. I've been meaning to switch. I have a brand new computer that I can switch to. But you guys know how much work that is. I'm having a lot of work just switching over to ZB Mailer, which I started doing today. Okay, whoa, you guys are seeing way too much right now. Yeah, way too much. All right, hey everybody, welcome to the webinar. My name is Tim Bentley, in case you didn't know, and I am here with my lovely wife, Nicole, alongside Al Cheeseman, who is my partner in this whole endeavor with the Zeus's Chariots game that we're bringing to the public. So he's been working in the background for some months now on this whole thing, like just figuring it out, because it's a lot to figure out. This is an amazing endeavor that we're on. It's been an amazing experience so far. The people we've got to meet, the people we've got to speak with, the things that we've learned are absolutely amazing. And what we've learned is that those that are involved in the metaverse right now, in the NFT space, and how it's being brought into the world, we're actually forging the industry as we move along. So that's pretty incredible. I don't know why you guys can still see all my other tabs, but I'm going to close them out. So welcome to the webinar tonight. What we're about to show you might be a little bit mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing for me to sit here and work up these numbers. and to bring this vision into life. And Al and I have gone back and forth for a couple of months now on this whole thing. And the way it's shaping up, I'm more than impressed with. So buckle up, enjoy the show, and try not to spill anything, fall out of your chair, hurt yourself in any way as we move through this presentation. So we're trying to make this the best NFT game of 2022 and beyond. The things that we're going to cover in this presentation are the progress that we're making in the game, any inside updates that we have, our vision for Zeus's chariots, some of our 3D model characters revealed, earn your share of 5% profit generated by the Zeus chariot. So ultimately what we have for you at the end of this presentation is an opportunity for you to own a piece of the metaverse game that we're bringing, should be in 2022, if all things go well. Of course, there's never any guarantees when you're bringing a game to market. And I do want to say that right now that we are not financial advisors. Everything that we say here tonight is pure conjecture. This is a vision. This is a dream. We are bringing all the pieces together as best that we can, but there is absolutely no guarantee of profit, of success, or anything of that nature. If you get involved with our project, you may lose everything that you put into it, and you should know that going in. Never invest anything that you cannot afford to lose. Okay, there are no guarantees here.
That sounds like something that his lawyers had him add into his little spiel.
Yeah, it really does, and there's a couple of things that jumped out for me. One was that this NFT has been in the works for several months. So even before Zeus, this was in the works. And I think this was a plan all along. And, it's interesting, you have Zeus Bounty released, and then within a month, he's starting the NFT. And that's because I believe that the excitement for Zeus Bounty is definitely less now. And, he's having to try to get investors in this as quick as possible. And, it's also interesting that
Did I lose you? I can't hear you, Brian.
it's just
Oh, there you
Timmy's
are.
energy level is a lot lower than before.
Brian, I couldn't hear what you said there for a moment. Brian, are you still there? Well, we will move on.
These are merely projections, estimations, hopes and dreams is really what we're looking at here. So I want you to keep that in mind as we're moving through this presentation. So Zeus's Chariots vision. We're trying to bring the most exciting, profitable, and engaging NFT racing game known to the internet. And right now, well, there really isn't one. There are some successful racing games like D-Race and Z-Run, but they're kind of boring. I mean, you can buy a horse and breed it and race and gamble and bet, and it's a gambling game. It's a horse like you're at the track, but you own the horse. They're really cool. They're really successful, but they're really like Gen Zero. They're basic. So we're in for everybody to try to make money here, utilizing our token as we back the prize pool with liquidity. Okay, so the token price can never really fall below a certain level. And we're going to set that level with cold hard cash. We're going to create a sustainable crypto ecosystem that is fun, it's exciting, it's adrenaline pumping, you can earn money, and it's going to be the biggest racing community online. We know what it takes to bring this to life. We have all the pieces. So how are you going to be able to earn? There's going to be a couple of different ways. So we're going to have 2 or 3 different game modes. Play to earn, play versus player, and there's going to be a more kind of free version that we're looking at, so you can earn your way into actually entering a real race, probably by watching advertisements. So as we move through this, we're going to show you our potential revenue streams and what you may or may not get out of it. So our NFT card holders are going to be able to either rent out their characters to people who want to run the races or race them yourselves. Mind you, our rentals are a very big piece of our ecosystem in the revenue generated from the game.
Okay, that is as if people want to play this game and can't wait to rent one of these NFT characters. So you're banking on the fact that people want to do that. And I honestly, I don't know what the market is for these NFT games, but I would think for anybody to make any money or anything, you would need to have a lot of people show a lot of interest. And given the fact that the numbers just for attending the webinar have been reduced so drastically over the past couple of months, and Zeus's Bounty hasn't been around all that long. It just released about maybe 2 months ago. How is this going to happen again? Because you definitely need people interested, need people buying the NFT characters, and you haven't been able to complete that. So I'm not thinking like this looks very good. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm missing the point.
So we are going to have a limit to how many races that you can run at any particular time. And that might be 25 to 50%. But, you know, honestly, if you're spending more than 25 to 50% of your time in the metaverse doing a chip.
And that definitely sounds like something from the lawyers also, of like having a time limit of how long you can play, which would, because they're trying to protect the fact that the man is running a pyramid scheme.
Race, we should probably spend some money on.
Oh, and then, you know, gambling to boot on top of it with this whole NFT chariot race.
Counseling sessions. So all the card holders here that we're going to give you access to tonight are going to have a chance to earn 5%, a share of 5% of all of our gaming revenue, split between 250 people. It's a massive opportunity.
You know, 5% of nothing is still nothing. And you're going to split up nothing between 250 people. Oh, wait, you don't have 250 people. Right now, you just have maybe 100, I think it is, or 97. Yeah, not looking so good, Timmy.
And you're never going to see another one like this, as far as I know. There's a lot of great opportunities out there. And right now, the world of NFTs is on fire. You can get involved in any number of NFT projects and have a decent likelihood of making some money. But not what we're talking about here. This is different. Our current status. So far, we've sold around 100 counters, maybe a couple more now. And that's the backing to this game so far. You guys are the back. Everybody who's bought a founder card, thank you so much. You are helping bring this vision to life.
And people dropped $1,000 to get one of these founder cards. And they haven't had any races or anything yet. So they've invested that in addition to Zeus's Bounty, of however much they did that. If they did the 0.1 of BNB to, you know, contribute to the bounty, or 1 or 10 BNB. So people could have already invested a few $1,000s for this whole endeavor, with the idea that somehow they're going to be making BNB from the Zeus's Bounty thing of the redistributing of money, or they're going to now be able to have people rent these NFT characters from them, and they can actually race and like get more money from racing. I mean, this just seems like such a house of cards that is just destined to fall and burn.
We don't have super deep pockets. We're not a corporation. We're not venture capitalists. We're regular people like you who have a dream and a vision, and you are helping us bring that vision to life. So we thank you very, very much. So we have some 3D models of our in-game characters and our game assets that are being developed right now. We've gone through, oh my God, how many people do you think we've gone through out trying to find decent people that can actually provide what we're looking for?
I'd say at least 25.
20 or more. And these are paid people. You hire them, you got to pay them for their work. Even if they don't give you exactly what you want, they just can't produce it.
It's just been a lot of trial and error, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's trial and error. And that's what we're going through. And if we had deep pockets, if we were a corporation, if we were a venture capitalist, if we went out and we got backing for this, and we had some kind of board that would demand the profits, then we could have hired somebody to do what we've been doing for the last month and a half, whatever it's been. project
Good thing
management.
is that we've managed to now find the best people, you know.
Absolutely. Because it's
After
a
digging.
filtering process. Right. So we have our Grand Hippodrome blueprints complete.
And just so you guys know, Brian was having some technical difficulties, so he is going to like reset his phone and join again. And speaking of which, there he is. There is the man himself. I was just telling them that you were having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, it was very weird. It was sounding like someone was, it's like Timmy was speaking about like a 1% speed or something. It was so slow. So I just had to reset my phone. So apologize for that.
That is okay. I mean, technology. And now I can see your Cape Crusader little guy now. I couldn't earlier, but now I can.
Oh, good. So yeah, maybe it was all for the better.
Okay, let me get Timmy going.
Built from scratch by an artist. They've been submitted to the 3D modeling people. And it's going to take about 20 days for our environment to be completed, our hippodrome, where everything's going to take place. Full detail, a lot of detail in the project. And as the characters are being created, they're also being rigged for animation. So this is a very long process. To build one character from the ground up from scratch is maybe like a week with full detail, and then the rigging and the animation to get them.
Okay, this is what's killing me about this. He's giving us all these details about how these 3D models are going to be made, yada, yada, yada. And I'm kind of thinking, if you're going to be selling these characters to people, shouldn't they already be made where you could actually show them and demo them and something like that, instead of pony up $1,000? Now just sit around and wait. You're not able to do anything other than you're just out money.
Yeah, exactly. And so understand that the project's being funded by these people that are willing to, spend $1,000 to, to join. And I have no idea how much, this project is. I'm sure he's definitely making money off of it. But yeah, it doesn't sound well because we don't even know if the NFT will even get completed.
Right.
And that's a big risk to me. And we know that over 99% of these NFTs fail, and over 80% are scams. And that's by OpenSea. They say that they're the platform that these folks use.
And that's where he's on OpenSea.
Yeah.
To actually seem realistic inside the game is quite a long process. And that's why we're starting with 8 characters. And then we're going to add more later. So this is a sneak peek of our hippodrome plans. Okay, we couldn't show you everything, but we can show you a little bit. So this is our hippodrome, from a distance down here on the left, a little bit more close up from an angle, and then an overhead view. It's a really long track. It's dirt. And this is where the chariot races will take place, with the grandstands full of people. Okay, so you're going to have a chance tonight to own a piece of 5% of this hippodrome, basically, is what we're talking about. These are our current in-game models that we have created so far. We had some others created. Some of you might have seen them, but we feel that they're inferior to what we found at this point. And they are. So this is our Poseidon. He is not finished. This is the best I can show you at this point. And this is our hoplite, our soldier. And you'll understand more of what we're talking about as we go on.
He made a comment.
But these are our current pieces that we have going on right now. We're in early stages.
Yes.
Yeah, he made a comment that was really concerning, where he said, if you join tonight, that gets you 5% ownership of the hippodrome. So so that means of the 250 people, 100 have ponied up. So $250,000 that will be generated from 250 people will be 5% ownership. So that doesn't sound like too good of an opportunity to me.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, and this is kind of a long process. So I want you guys to have patience through this process, and we're going to keep you updated along the way with everything that we get. We're only going to show you so much because we don't want anything stolen. At the end of the day, we know how the online world is, and we don't want to be beat to market with our project. So we know the keys to a successful NFT launch. We've been doing a lot of research, and we've been watching what's going on. And it's mind-blowing. If you guys don't know, start digging into the world of NFTs. And you can see for yourself that what we're telling you here is not just fluff and BS. Every major corporation in the world is scrambling right now to get into the metaverse. McDonald's, Nike, Adidas, Microsoft, the list goes on and on and on. We know what it takes to make a successful NFT launch. And no, that's not.
Now, I just am wondering, is it really true that Microsoft and McDonald's are scrambling to get into the metaverse?
Well, the metaverse, remember, that's something that Facebook is really driving. And so all that is basically open world type stuff that's digital. And so, yeah, they may be putting something in there, but I haven't heard that from any of these Fortune 500 companies that's, one of their prime areas of investments, the metaverse.
That's why I figure if it was a thing, we'd be hearing about like on world news tonight.
Yeah.
I watch that every night. You don't hear it would come up. It would
you don't
be
even hear it on Fox Business or seeing it, any of those. So it just doesn't. I don't think that's very accurate, especially when most of them fail.
I think he's just trying to pump it up. He's just talking out of his ass.
Yep.
The game, but it's a very key part. Building the community that want to play the game. What we need is original artwork. A lot of the games that are out there right now, a lot of these NFT launches that are happening, they're going to unityassets.com or Unreal Engine, and they're buying pre-made assets. Okay, you can buy things. You can buy characters. You can buy environments, vehicles, weapons. And then they're throwing these games together in these pre-made environments. And then they're selling NFTs for these overused characters, environments, games that have really no purpose. And they're making a killing doing it. So in order to be different and to be successful and to be unique, you have to have original artwork. You have to have a great story, which we have. Chariot racings of the gods for the most part. In an ancient hippodrome, racing for prizes. It's an amazing story. You need some gameplay footage, which we're going to have by the time we launch our NFT characters. 45 seconds to a minute long, movie studio quality video of our gameplay. And then you need a minimum of 30 days of promotion, which we're going to have. And money, obviously, for the promotion. With all of these things in play, we can have a huge NFT launch sale. So our NFT artist, I mentioned original artwork. It's a key component of a successful NFT launch. So Zeus's Chariots has this in spades. Every game character created from the ground up, the environment, 100% unique. The horses, the chariots, all unique.
This is giving me total Unpassive vibes, with this whole thing from the ground up. It's all original. We're creating all of it. It's the same kind of hype.
Yeah.
Which makes me just side-eye him even more, because it's like I've heard the same song and dance, only I've heard it from Ash Mufara. And Ash has been doing it a lot longer than you, Timmy.
Yeah.
Now, for our NFT page, we're going to have something really, really special. Something other launches that have raised over $70 million in like 24 hours did not have. Our launch is going to be able to leverage the names Star Wars, Garbage Pail Kids, Mad Magazine, and Topps trading cards. How? How can we do this? Well, I want to introduce you to Mr. Mike Stevens. He's the guy dishing out the punishment. He is an artist that has drawn for Star Wars, Garbage Pail Kids, Mad Magazine. This is Mike right here. Look at some of this artwork. I'm going to give you a minute. We could have one of the biggest NFT launches ever. Question mark. Could we? It's possible. We know all the key components. We have them in spades. We have an amazing studio, 3D modeling experts that are doing our models and our rigging in our environments. They do incredible work. Movie studio quality. So we have every single element that's needed to make the most successful launch in history. But you know what? We don't need it to be.
You know what's funny is that Ash is. I'm going to review the webinar in a couple of days, but I was watching it last night, and he was talking about some video clips that would be basically so people can learn about on passive during the quote launch, and he used that same phrase of movie studio quality. So that must be something going around these days, that if you use those buzzwords together, people are supposed to be wowed, and it's you don't impress me much.
Well, yeah, and understand that a game like this. So even if he gave 250, even if he gets 250,000, and he puts it all into the development of a game, that these games that are out there today, I know they're not in the metaverse, but Call of Duty.
Oh yeah,
some of those games are close to $100 million in budget.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't see how that can happen. And then he's saying he's got an artist that did stuff for Star Wars and all that. That doesn't really impress me either. I mean, it's not like you can use the licensed characters from Star Wars and all that.
So it means like, okay, so you've hired him to do some freelance artwork,
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
We just simply don't. If we do mediocre, we're going to be just fine. And here's why. Even mediocre launches do millions. People are selling pictures of rocks for millions. Okay? Dinosaur drawings for millions. Monkeys for hundreds of millions. Thousands, hundreds of thousands a piece. Incredible. We're going to use the money generated from our 2 public sales to back our prize coin with a liquidity pool of 2.5 times the amount of coins we mint. That basically means that the coin will always be worth $2.50 at a base price. So keep in mind, this is for example purposes only. Everything that we discuss in this proposal, in this opportunity meeting, is example purposes only. Nothing is 100% set in stone. Not the amount of NFTs, not the name of the NFTs, not the prize pools.
That's definitely because he's spoken to lawyers.
Yeah.
He's trying to cover his butt.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Not everything is set in stone. Okay? This is for example purposes only. This is going to be close to what we're doing, but don't hold us to these figures, please. Keep in mind, these are projections, hopes and dreams. This may not occur. We're going to spend at least $60,000 on promotions for our first NFT run of approximately 2,500 to 3,500 NFTs. Okay, $60,000 to $100,000 should get us exactly what we need to raise around $10 million or more. We're going to spend another $2 million out of that, approximately, remember, on promotions for our next NFT release that would happen like 60 days later. This is all while the game's being built. We're going to mint an additional 6,500 characters or so. We hope to raise another 50 million or more from the second launch. Remember, original artwork, some game assets, a unique story, and money for promotions. That's what it takes to make this kind of thing happen. And we have all of the pieces. We really,
There's
really
thousands of these going on.
I think we may be able to double it. We could do the biggest launch ever.
Say that again.
There's thousands of people doing the same thing, trying to get on board with this. So, there's Axis Infinity, which is an NFT game that's been around for a couple of years. That's about the only one that's done much. And, they make their money through microtransactions within the game. And then all these other NFTs that have made money, that's usually celebrities that, like William Shatner, he had some photos from, his work in Star Trek and things like that. And he digitized them and was able to sell them. And it's mostly celebrities that have a name that are able to get these big NFT fees or NFT um, transactions to occur.
Yeah. Not your average Joe.
No. Mm-mm.
In history, we're going to be able to leverage very famous names: Star Wars, Garbage Pail Kids, Mad Magazine, Topps Trading Cards. We're going to have incredible art on that page, an incredible story. And once you see these numbers break down of how the races pay out, why we think our coin will be at a certain amount, and how much money can be made from the game, I think you're going to agree that we're on the right track. So here's a little bit of our tokenomics. We're going to mint our very first coin.
So he's talking about them having a cryptocurrency, creating his own cryptocurrency at the same time as that he's like launching this NFT thing, in addition to the Zeus's Bounty of you contributing to it so that you earn
Right. Yeah, and that's a different coin. So that's BNB.
Yeah.
And so what he's doing is he's building this. So the whole thing with OpenSea SEA is it's part of Ethereum. So it's what they call a level 2 Ethereum. And so he's building that in Ethereum. But anyone, basically he creates a smart contract. Anyone can create an NFT. It's just a matter of someone will pay for it. Having tokens, and it's called a token instead of a coin because it's based upon a level 1 Ethereum. So anyway, it's not anything that's a big deal, but I just don't see him raising the type of money he's talking to. He should be talking to venture capitalist firms and those type of people, because I just don't see the economics in it. So this is interesting. Now we'll be going into the quote unquote tokenomics. That's pretty wild.
And what is the difference between a level 1 Ethereum and level 2 Ethereum?
Yeah, so what that is your base coin. So Bitcoin is an L1 or level 1, and then and you hear the term altcoin. Yeah. Basically, anything that's not Bitcoin is an altcoin. But Ethereum is probably the biggest coin out there that people can build apps off of. And so any of those apps, that would be level 2, because level 1 is that Ethereum is its own coin and you can build apps off of it. So that's level 2.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Coin after all of our NFTs have been sold. And the only reason we're going to mint any for sale is because you're going to need one of them to enter the race, along with $25. So we're going to mint 1 million of them. We're going to put 2.5 million into a locked liquidity pool, making those coins immediately worth $2.50 a piece, base value. Now, with a very limited circulating supply, the demand for people who are going to want to play, it is very likely that that token will trade for multiples above its base. Some trade for hundreds, even thousands of times above their base price, their liquidity price. So we're going to put an estimation on here that we're going to be trading at about $10 come race time. We're going to be really conservative and go a 4x on the coin. So new tokens like this often trade for hundreds, right? Okay, we did that. So the coins were $10. As we get closer and closer to race time, we're going to be spending millions on ads and building a massive community of hundreds of thousands or millions of people. That's where it's at.
But he's spending millions on ads only if he's able to somehow bring in millions. Where is he getting these millions of dollars from?
Well, exactly. I mean, it just doesn't make sense, because he'll get $250,000 off his people that are paying $1,000, and then that's a drop in the hat, right? Compared to these tens of millions of dollars. So he would have to get that from investors like venture capitalist funds. I just don't think that a chariot racing game is something that's going to excite people in Silicon Valley.
Well, I don't see this being a crowd-funded success.
No, it's just a pipe dream, and
Yeah.
I think he's okay just getting the 250,000 and then never releasing the game.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
It's all about the people in the community. And all it takes is what we have. A great story, original art, money to run promotions.
What is
We're
a
going to have all the
story?
pieces.
Yeah.
I've yet to figure out what is the damn story, because you're mixing Greek gods and Roman gods. You know, it's like
Yeah.
you're mixing everything up together. You don't have this great story. I'm not following why he thinks it's so damn great.
Yeah, no, I don't either, unless it becomes what it sounds like is it's really gambling, because you're
Yeah.
going to put money into your chariot's going to win, and there's power-ups and all that. You know, I have no idea. What you're going to have is someone will figure out how to game the system and,
Yep.
win everything, even if the thing got created. And I agree with the comment here. It's not happening.
So at this point, we're going to have a following of 100,000, hundreds of thousands, millions of people in its race day. And we only have 10,000 playable characters. But we have a community of maybe 1 million. I don't know how many people want to play the game. Maybe 10% of the community. Say 100,000 people want to play the game. Races are going to be run every 10 to 15 minutes on up to 150 different servers simultaneously. Because we have to accommodate enough to let every NFT race at least a couple of times a day. So that's going to be 21,600 races per day. And honestly, that's a little low. I feel like we need more. We need more than 2 opportunities per day for the NFT holders or whoever might be renting them. So
I'm gonna have to
remember,
reconnect, man.
what's that?
Sorry, dude. I'm gonna have to reconnect. My Zoom's going funny.
Okay.
Be back.
All right. So that number could actually be higher. Remember, nothing's set in stone here. We're going to pay out first, second, and third place for each race. So 3 people out of 10.
You know, and that bothers me too. As he's describing what's going to happen, of like how this game is going to go around, then he's like, but nothing's set in stone. But you're trying to sell people on this idea, so they'll pony up $1,000, but yet nothing's set in stone.
Yeah, I don't think any investor that's in that business of investing in, NFTs or games would, Tim's taking advantage of people. Understand the average person in Zeus Bounty has no idea what cryptocurrency is. They think they hear the stories. Wow, people made all this money off Bitcoin and everything. And hey, there's this thing with Zeus Bounty with crypto. And I think they're just believing everything Timmy tells them. That's the only thing. All it is faith that what he's saying will come to fruition.
Accurate, yeah.
And that's scary.
It is very scary.
And are going to get a chance to win. Winners are also going to win a ticket. If you win a race during the day, you're going to win a ticket to the end of the week race where you're going to be able to race for more. If you win one of those races, you're going to get a ticket to the end of the month. And if you win one of those, you're going to get a ticket to the end of the year. Okay. So the prize pools, up to 80 coins could be won per race. The difference is the racers. We're going to have different rarities of our gods, which will make them worth different values. Meaning there's only going to be a limited amount of Zeus. There's going to be more Poseidons, Ares, all the other gods there'll be more of. And then more of the hoplites and the soldiers. So the more rare the god, the more you're going to be able to win per race, which is going to make them more valuable. Zeus will always win the most because he's going to be the most rare, and he is, Zeus.
Well,
and we're going to use the sub-gods for racing examples, as there's going to be more of it.
Do what?
The game's already rigged, and I have a feeling to what you have to do. You start off as a soldier or whatever, and you have to power up by buying and paying more, and eventually you'll be.
Alexa, stop. Sorry about that.
No, I was just saying that the flaw in this, it's already rigged. So Zeus is going to always win, and the only way you could have your character become Zeus is that you're going to have to pay money to get power up so that you would be at that level.
Now, what's a power up?
Well, power up is like you start off as a soldier, and then you could pay money to say, "Hey, I want a better horse, or I want a better chariot, or a lighter chariot." You know, it's all virtual. And then I guess if you have enough money, then you could say, "Hey, I want, instead of being a soldier, I want to be Poseidon now." And then after a while, you spend more money, and if you win and all that, then you could go to a higher level of a Greek god in a Roman chariot race,
Which is just so weird in of itself. Why didn't he call it Jupiter's Bounty? That would have made sense.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Sub gods are also going to win more than like the lower tier soldiers. So first place for sub god is going to be 45 coins. Second place 16. Third place 8. Now if our coins trading at $10 each, that makes those prizes worth $450 for first, $160 for second, and $80 for third. Now let's do some math. Players are going to have a chance to win $450 a race, 4 to 6 times per hour. Now let's split the difference and say 5 times per hour. They're going to have a chance to win $2,250 an hour. Times 24 hours is $54,000 a day. Any given player could win.
But wait, you said there was going to be a time limit of how much time each day that you could spend racing. So then you wouldn't be able to get this $54,000 in a given day because you wouldn't be allowed to play for 24 hours. Or did I miss something?
No, that's what it is. Plus, you have to pay money in this token to race. So every time, So I mean it's and that $10 value that's just came out.
That's made up.
Who knows? Yeah, exactly. Even $250 is.
Yeah.
It might be a penny. Who knows? Like I said, I don't think it'll even happen.
Back up. $54,000 a day. That could be one. And mind you, this is per server. Right? So this is like times 150. There's a lot of money that is going to be given out every single day in a chariot race. This is insane. If you think this is the craziest thing you've ever heard, go ahead and type a 1 in the chat. Yeah, one. Lot of ones going on. And I know you're probably asking yourself, but Tim, hey, where does the money come from? How can I win $2,250 an hour? Like, where does that money come from? That's a great question, because you know what? This isn't a gambling game. There's no gambling involved here. The prize pools, let me click on it. The prize pools, hold on a second. Okay, so the money comes from the revenue centers that we're going to use to back the liquidity in the tokens as we mint them. So I mentioned we're minting 1 million tokens to begin with. All the races are going to be minted. The prize pools are going to be minted as we move through them. And then we're going to back those coins with liquidity from the gaming revenue that we're always going to keep at 2.5 times however many coins we have in circulation. So these are our revenue centers. Entry fees for each race, power-up rentals, speed-up rentals, NFT rentals, and ads. We don't know how we're going to implement the ads yet, but it's going to be a very large source of revenue, as I'm sure you.
There just seems to be a whole lot of things that he isn't happening and not done yet. I don't know how. It's like, how in the hell could you expect people to go like, and here's $1,000 when all of this is just literally a pipe dream?
Yeah, that's the big question, you know. And I think also the attorney probably had him say, hey, this is not gambling. But then when you see all that, you know, it is about gambling. And
yeah,
it's
it
about
absolutely
paying
is.
money to build up a chariot that has a better chance of winning.
Right. Now I see with the power ups and the speed. So yeah, I see how that works.
Yeah.
This just so shady.
Yes.
Fully understand. So in this scenario, when you can win $450 for a race, the entry fee is going to be $25 per race plus one Zeus coin. 24-hour rentals. We're going to be renting out the power-ups and the speed-ups and your NFTs for you. Power-ups are going to be $250 a day. They're going to give you like a 1 second advantage in the game. They can be used once per race. And the same with the speed-ups. $250 for a 24-hour rental, and it gives you a 1 second advantage in the game, used once per game.
I don't
NFTs,
see how,
if you're able to win $54,000 in a day.
What, Brian?
Yeah, this is also a problem. How are you going to mix buying a token, right, with cash as well? So I understand that you can buy a token by, connecting to your bank account or whatever, and you can buy you have to buy it through this liquidity pool. But I don't know how he'll be able to capture the cash as well. He's saying a token plus $25 in cash or $1,000 in cash to rent the hippodrome for a day or whatever.
And
I just don't think you can do that.
And I'm trying to figure out, so these power-ups and speed-ups, you only can use them one time in a race. So technically you could be spending $500 a day for the power-up and speed-up, which you would then, I guess, be racing as often as you possibly could after you dropped $500 on that, plus the $25.
People aren't going to buy that. Yeah,
it makes no sense.
To do that. No, it doesn't.
People, I mean, right now with what's going on in the world, it's not like a lot of people have, all this just extra cash laying around. The price of everything going up. So now let me just milk you dry with this pretend game.
Yeah, exactly.
Then the NFT rental price will probably be around $1,000. The market will truly determine what that value is, because it'll be like a bidding system. The more value the races are, the higher it's going to cost to rent an NFT for the day. So this $1,000 will be split between the NFT owner and Zeus. You may choose to forego your share, the $500, for a revenue split with your renter. Maybe you want to take X% of the winnings over the 24 hours. Because let's face it, you have a pretty good chance of winning. We're playing places 1, 2, and 3. You have a 30% chance of placing in any given race. So,
but he hasn't told us how many chariots are supposed to be racing each race either. Is it 10?
Yeah.
Is it 20? Is it 50?
Yeah,
is it 100?
that's saying we don't know it. And so what it sounds like that he's expecting is that you're going to have people there that's going to pay $1,000, and then they're going to have their own.
I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Now I can, yes.
Yeah, what I was saying is that it sounds like for $1,000 you can rent the hippodrome for a day, and so those people are going to be selling all these races themselves or something that will be happening. It's just
and who the hell's going to be doing that?
Yeah, exactly. None of this makes any sense.
No, it does. It is just insanity upon insanity.
Yeah, I mean, it's worse and worse the more I hear it.
It's like, I mean, and he's saying all of this with a straight face. I don't see how he can. Maybe he did a couple of shots of whiskey before he went on to be able to actually say this.
Yeah,
like,
no kidding.
Gravy.
If you race 4 times, you have a chance of placing, and you can do that every single hour. So our estimated monthly revenue with only 10,000 playable NFTs is roughly $240 million from all of this.
No way.
$240 million with 10,000 playable NFTs.
He's smoking crack,
And we got about 100,000 people that want to play the game. So this seems a little bit crazy.
No, right. A lot.
I get it. It does. This seems like an insane number. And I've been going through the numbers for weeks, trying to make this smaller. Yeah. Founder's share. If we raise $240 million in revenue in a month, times 5%, that's $12 million per month going into the founder's share pool. $12 million divided by 250 people is $48,000 per month. Now that says $48,000 per month per share. Now we can go back a couple slides and we can do the math. You know, mind you, these are at a 75% rental rate, along with these 75% rental rate, not even 100%. Right? Who's not going to want an advantage in these races? And it's well worth $500 for 24 hours to try to win $54,000. Not that you could stay up and race for 24 hours. I'm sure a lot of people could. They do. So is this even possible? We think it is. But mind you, we think it is. There's no guarantees. Right? So let's step beyond that for a moment, as if that wasn't beyond enough for you. But mind you, before we even move on, if we fail by 90%, that still means $4,800 a month for founders. Even if we fail beyond that. Fantasy world.
That's what it
Welcome
is.
to Fantasy Island. Okay. What if we have 5 million people that want to play our game?
Yeah, as if.
Now, mind you, there's games out there that have 40 million players every single month, active players. They're not NFT metaverse play to earn games. They're just games. But one of the biggest play to earn games right now is really coming on strong. They have 6 million active players every single day. 6 million. So what happens when we have 5 million people? That means we're going to need 500,000 NFTs, not 10,000. That's a 50x increase in gamers and races ran. Do you think 5 million player? Do you think there's 5 million players out there? What? Oh, do you think 5 million players is out of line? Sorry, read my own notes. Do you think 5 million players is out of line? Do you think
He can't even convince himself of this scam, you know?
Yeah,
Thing.
exactly.
Like, how in the hell am I going to keep saying this, you know?
5 million people want a chance to win $54,000 a day? I did that from memory, and I was wrong. Yeah, probably. They probably are. And now, what if our coin traded at $25 instead of 10? We're not in control of where the coin trades. We can set the base price through liquidity in our treasury. But Decentraland, Wonderland, all these things trade for hundreds or even thousands of times above their floor price. What if we just traded it for 10 times above our floor price and the coin was worth $25? Now you're going to have a chance to win $145,000 a day. Come on. It just gets stupid.
Well,
and it really does.
Stupid is
because when that happens,
for the whole thing.
The price for everything goes up. The rentals are $1,000 a day now. Maybe they're $2,000. The power ups aren't $250, they're $500.
You know what I'm finding interesting is that he's not even talking about Zeus's Bounty right now or anything. It's all about this NFT, which so he's switched from Zeus's Bounty to promoting this.
Yeah, and that's what I think. And you're seeing that now you have this decrease in the amount of people joining Zeus Bounty. I mean, it's considerably. Like I said, less than maybe 50 people this week. And so, yeah, it's like he's given up on Zeus, and he's now everything is about the chariot. And I think that was his plan all along. This has been the pipe dream, not Zeus Bounty. And, you know, and he just wanted to this was all about getting people's money. And I don't even know if he really is planning on building the game. You know, I just don't think it'll happen. You know, I think he's just looking at getting the $250,000
as much as he can.
Founders. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everything increases by factors. So here's what we have for you right now. We had 250 of these available 3 weeks ago, maybe 4. Now we have 150. This is a founder's drone card that gives you your share of 5% of our company revenue. And I hope Al is back on. Drop in the links in here. Hold on a second. Let me check the chat. Are you back on, Al? Well, you probably need me to go back into the participants list. There he is.
I can put the link in there too, Tim.
Yeah, and that's back. Hey, cool. So they're going to drop the link in the chat. There's 150 of these left. They're 0.4 ether. Ether's dipped. It's about $1,100 to buy one of these cards. Now, I don't know if you've ever been offered an opportunity to potentially make $48,000 a month. I don't even like saying it. I'll be honest with you. Potentially make $4,800 a month for $1,000 one-time opportunity. It's unheard of. And you know what? Our timing couldn't be more perfect in this space. That's the thing about it. We're not even forcing it. We could do this. Well, it seems almost too easy. I'm going to be honest with you. The workload isn't easy. The hours spent aren't easy. It is a lot of work, and we're going through the ringer.
I have a question.
And at the end of the day, for what could come out of it, it's easy.
Yes.
So this thing, is going to make all this money, and it's going to raise tens of millions of dollars or whatever. Why does he need $250,000 from these so-called founders? I don't understand why he needs $250,000 if this thing is such a sure thing, and he can be able to generate these millions of dollars.
The only thing I can figure is to be able to play the artists, creating the hippodrome and everything, the 3D artists.
Yeah.
And to me, it kind of goes back to, if this were a real thing, you would have gone to venture capitalists, you would have proposed something, you would have gotten funding for it. You wouldn't be coming out here doing it in this way. It just seems to be, again, I go back to on passive, of just getting all these people in and then not giving them anything in return, because we don't know how long it's going to take. Like, let's just say that this game is going to happen. We don't know how long it's going to take to build all that stuff. Having worked with 3D artists when I designed some games for the military training stuff, I mean, it took months upon months upon months to be able to create everything. And so people could be literally dropping $1,000 6 months down the line, 9 months down the line. They're still waiting for this damn thing to go off. So I really don't see it being something that's going to happen.
Yeah, it's using the fear of being left out. That's what this this is what that's called. Yeah. And so they're thinking, well, even if this thing doesn't hardly do anything, but I can get $10,000 total, then I've made 10 times my investment. But that's the thing. It's not going to make anything, because I just don't see it getting done,
Yeah, I don't either.
I've done way harder work. Way harder work. Anybody have any questions?
Regino had a bunch of them. Regino, if you want to post your questions now.
Let me just unmute him.
Oh, sure. He had a lot of questions.
Yeah, that might be easier, man. Let me scroll down to find Regino here.
Okay.
Regino Harris Bendy. What's up, buddy? You should be able to talk now, Regino.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Quick question. When you say advertise, or are we gonna try and get on like influencers, or just through YouTube, Facebook, things like that?
It's going to be influencer, Twitter, Discord, PR releases, all of that stuff.
So if we hack a crypto.com stadium and put it up there, you'll be okay with that?
Yeah.
At the old Staples Center?
Yeah. And one of the great things is too, is like, if we have 150 servers running, that means we're going to have 150 hippodromes. Each one of them can be sponsored. All right. That's advertising revenue.
Yeah. I'm assuming that's where we're going to get a majority of our money from ads.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna want like Nike, companies like that will want that type of exposure.
Yeah. Well, the great thing is, who Nike was?
Yeah. He Phil Nike. Yeah.
Yeah. He was a Greek god.
Yeah.
So it fits in quite well.
with your Greek god,
So, yeah.
Roman god
Um,
And that's
matchup.
the one revenue stream that we couldn't even like calculate. We have no idea what the income potential is there yet.
So would it be safe to assume you'll probably create a YouTube video just for Zeus Bounty? Or for Zeus Chariots?
Our YouTube channel?
Yeah, just to get
Yeah.
that type of advertisement too?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna need like 30 days for promotion minimum.
Mhm.
And we can't even start that until our page is fully ready. All of our art
Yeah.
is drawn. I'd like
Yeah.
to have that 45 second to a minute long video clip of our gameplay
Mhm.
before we even launch. And that's a huge, huge part of it. Building up that community and building up the hype that just drives it.
Yeah.
And that's why we're going to do 2 stages.
But here's the thing. You can have all the hype in the world, but if you don't deliver, that hype is going to wither.
Yeah, it is, and it just surprises me that if he has a company that he's paying to do this. You know, I know Strider Games is out, and it's someone else, which I don't even think we know who the company is. But wouldn't you have some sort of idea when this would be launching? Wouldn't there be like a roadmap? Wouldn't there be like saying, hey, this will be out first quarter of 2023 or whatever? I mean, there's nothing like that.
I mean, you know, if this was a real thing, then get the project manager on from that, you know, developer to come in and talk about how
I
that
sure
is
would.
all
That's
out.
what I would do. Yeah.
That would make sense, right?
Yeah, exactly. Get someone from that company to, you know, talk about the roadmap. You know, you're trying to get investors. Investors want information. You know, they don't want hype, because the whole thing that's going on in the world with cryptocurrency, every project out there is hype, and only 1 out of 1,000 maybe even does anything. There's hundreds of coins every month being put out there, or tokens, and they don't really do anything. And so the way he's approaching this is not it's not a valid business model.
Yeah, no. And he's approaching this very similarly to what, you know, Ash has done. So it's just interesting seeing 2 people operate in much the same way. Just expecting people to sit around and wait, pony up money, but I'm not giving you anything right now. You just got to wait and trust.
Yeah, they won't even, you know, he won't even tell you, he won't even show you what the artwork is and all that. And, you know, if you're an investor, most of them will say, hey, you know, here's an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. Here's our packet, all of that. There's nothing like this. Just believe in Timmy and pony up $1,000 or $1,100, whatever it is. So, you know, whenever you buy into this, you can't use BNB, which is Zeus Bounty. You have to buy it in Ethereum currency.
Ethereum, yeah.
Which I think he said was 0.3. So depending on where Ethereum is, that could be $1,000, it could be $1,200. I guess it could be $800, whatever.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. What was my other question? Because I wrote them down on Notepad.
I don't know. I can't see it.
Oh, that's what I'm pulling up. Now, let me ask you a question. Could the rental on a NFT card go higher?
Oh, yeah,
Like a
absolutely. It's
power
100%
ranking?
market driven.
Yeah. Or like power ranking because of the number of wins your chariot has?
Well, that won't make a difference, but the price pool of the races will determine how much the rentals are really worth.
Okay.
You know,
So
I mean, if our coin's trading at $50 and you have a chance to win 300K a day, how much is that rental worth?
It's more than 80. That's for sure.
Damn right. It's worth a lot of money, and the market will dictate that.
And that's when you want to probably negotiate with the person trying to rent it.
Yeah, absolutely. More than likely, you're going to probably have to set your fee ahead of time. And we may even have to set the fee because it's all going to have to be written in smart contracts.
Yeah.
And you're just going to kind of click the button to decide what you want to do. You know, because maybe the person just wants to pay the $500, or maybe you don't even offer the $500, right? Maybe you don't even offer the split. Maybe you only want the split of the revenue. because it's probably going to be worth more money for you in the long run.
Okay.
It's cheaper for them to race, and
Mhm.
you make more money.
Oh yeah. When the money starts going up, that's when you probably go, you know what, I'll take a gamble on it and waive the rental fee, and hopefully the person picks either first, second,
gamble.
or third.
Yeah.
You get back more than-
And what we really want to be doing is we want to control our own coin. I'm not sure we want our coin out there on all the different exchanges. I think maybe the best place to buy and sell our coin is on our own exchange, our own swap site.
Yeah.
And then those who want to sell their coin can. Those who want to stake their coin and earn an APY can also do that. And then they can share in the revenue from people that are selling from the exchange fees.
Okay. Now, are you going to try and put it on something like CoinMarketCap?
I don't know. That's what I just said. I'm not sure I want. Well, CoinMarketCap will list it. CoinMarketCap will list all coins.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But you got to go through a process, I believe, to get it listed.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I know they have categories, and I think they have a gaming category and an NFT.
Yeah, they do.
So,
and that gaming crypto category, for you guys, so you know, that the market cap on gaming cryptos in total right now is like 68 billion. And within 10 years,
it's going to be more.
It could be 50 trillion, 100 trillion, literally the biggest industry that ever existed, happening right now.
Hey, Tim, Aaron asked it, are you planning to retain an advertising agency?
Oh, yeah. We've been interviewing for weeks. We have a lot of proposals.
Hey, Tim, here's another idea. Do you plan on doing something like when I used to go to the horse races in Inglewood when I lived in LA?
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe having a paper done on the different NFT cards for the different races where people could buy it, or kind of read up on the horse to help put more value on those chariots?
Yeah, I don't know if that will help or not, because we're not going to be gambling.
Okay.
So
well,
that was
we might not be, but I've seen things over here.
I don't know if you can answer this question or not, but how does that make it worth more if they only have the coin available on their platform? Do you know the answer to that?
So how does it work? What is it? Let's see. Could you repeat that question? I can't hardly read it.
How does that make it worth more if they only have the coin, the Zeus Bounty coin, available on their own platform?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know, but what typically happens is that tokens typically won't be exchanged on like Coinbase and the major centralized exchanges because they're too small, and there's too many scams. There's too many bad tokens out there. So I don't think that a Coinbase or any of the major exchanges like Binance, for example, would ever allow this NFT to be out there, so usually on those you have to go more decentralized exchanges that are smaller. So I just don't think it's possible to get it with the big exchanges.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Here in Reno, where I went into a casino with a friend, and I'm like, hey, that's a NFT game, and there's a bet on it.
Yeah, you're right, man. I mean, this world is crazy, so you never know.
Okay, that's my questions. Thank you.
All right, cool. You're welcome.
Hey, Tim, not for nothing, but I just, since you opened up my brain, I noticed a lot of empty land outside the Hippodrome.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Just saying, huh?
Real estate. Yeah.
Just saying, I could buy a concession stand right outside the Hippodrome.
Hey, you never know, man. I'm telling you, the opportunity is literally endless. Literally endless. We could sell VIP boxes.
Well, the only reason I say that is because if there's 10 times as many players as watchers, there's going to be a social aspect to it.
Yeah, there's definitely a social aspect to it. You know, and these are things that we're still figuring out as we go along. You know, how do people watch? How do they get involved?
It's going to evolve itself.
It seems like they're trying to figure out a lot of things as they go.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't something, the ones that work like Axis Infinity and some of those, you know, a player can go in there and they're staying active for, you know, however long they want to play. On this, you have a race that might last a minute or two, and then you have to pony up more money if you want to race again. And so I don't think people necessarily want to do that. They'd rather have an action game, you know, like Call of Duty, where they're all in a group and they're, you know, trying to shoot the other, you know, enemy or whatever. And, you know, that's going to be more fun than something like this. And I just don't see that. I just don't see the value.
Yeah, I don't either.
As people start commenting on it.
Yeah.
Hey, how come I can't do this, or how come I can't do that, or there should be this, and it's like, good, feedback is welcome.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, that's another thing that founders will get to do is vote on things like that. So as founders, as an opportunity to receive this type of income from the game, you have to do something to earn it. So there will be something required of you in our community, even if it's something as simple as voting on things that are going to happen inside the game. There will be some requirement for that to be happening.
How are people going to pay the $25 entry fee? And how many people are per race?
10 people per race. The entry fee is going to come out of your wallet. It's going to be $25 equivalent of whatever crypto we end up minting on. We really, really hope Ethereum gets their gas under control and they get that problem fixed, because we want to mint on Ethereum. They provide the biggest platform, but there are other platforms and networks that offer a lot of advantages. So it's going to be in a cryptocurrency, whatever that may be, because everything's going to be connected to a wallet.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
So we won't
now.
use BNB then?
You may possibly use BNB.
Did you say something?
So, yeah, so that makes sense now, because he kept on saying $25 to join a race, and I was saying there's no way to be able to put cash into the game, you know. And so what he said is that it'd be some cryptocurrency that would have the value of $25, and so, you know, so you'll have a token that you have to use or buy, but then you have to pay $25 in another coin, and it sounds like there's going to be 10 chariots per game. So, you know, it also sounds pretty complicated just to enter in and be part of the game.
BNB to enter the race, we don't know yet.
Or an alternative coin, you know?
Yeah, we haven't even decided what network we're going to mint our characters on yet. We have a lot of options. There's a lot of cool up and comers. A lot of networks and platforms are doing really, really cool things.
Yeah.
But the one thing they're missing is people. That's the one thing OpenSea has in spades.
Well, it seems like he's missing people.
Exactly.
But if we're doing our own promoting and we build our own community, at the end of the day, we're driving our own sales. So we can choose the network that we want that's going to be the most fitting. And when we're doing 24-hour rentals and smart contracts, it needs to be on something with low gas fees, and that's fast.
Yeah. Like Polygon, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, we're thinking about Polygon. The problem with Polygon is, like, you know, acquiring Polygon.
Yeah.
Right? So we got to make it easy and fast and safe and cheap all at the same time. So we don't know yet. Maybe Solano.
That's another one. Or XRP when they get out of that lawsuit.
Yeah. You know, we're looking at all of our options.
Okay.
So
The only thing that's really, I don't want to say bugging me. The only thing that I'm thinking of is to have a price point of a power up and stuff at 250, which is 24 hours. I understand that.
Yep.
So you're talking about just for round numbers, 50% of first place, which is more than worth it. But does that force racers? Do you know what people have when you get in the race already, or it's a surprise?
No, it's a surprise.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and if you want to have an advantage, you better buy a power up.
So you are going to do power up things, right? That people could say if people couldn't get in on the initial NFT.
We're not going to sell the power up NFTs.
Okay.
At least at this point.
That's strictly going to be an in-house revenue stream.
Yeah, that's going to be an in-house revenue stream.
And just by the way, to your point, if it's $12 million to the founders, it's $12 million to Zeus's Bounty as well.
Damn right it is. Monthly, buddy. You believe that? That's incredible.
Yeah, that'll bring a lot more. That'll bring a lot more sawdust to the top of the wood.
Yeah, it sure will. And and we don't know if it's going to be that. It's going to be somewhere between 0 and that or higher. We don't know. Like, this could be a complete failure. We don't conceive that at this point in any way, shape, or form. We don't know how that would be. We just don't, but it could be. But any level of success is going to be really good for all of us.
I think Joe said he's going to be. He said he's going to be providing protection from the familia.
That's funny.
At the Hippodrome, right, Joe?
That's fantastic. He's going to shake down the racers. Hey, you guys, you going to give me 10 coins or what? For what? Well, I want something to happen to you.
Well, maybe we could scalp entry fees too. I could stand outside with them.
That's fantastic. And we're going to be working on another model too, where people can get in and play the game for free and then earn their way into a race. And that's probably going to be by watching ads. Maybe they'll get to run a Hippodrome race with some other people, and they all watch an ad. They can run another one, and then they'll watch an ad. And we take a little bit of that ad revenue, and we give it to them until they have enough to enter a race.
Yeah. Plus, you always give out the first hit of crack for free.
Always give out the first hit of crack for free. That's right. That's hilarious.
Oh, you mean the pipes? Like our government, huh?
Yeah.
No, just like Regino, think about it. If you're giving away, when people, you know how gambling is, right? I mean, it's not gambling, but it's the same feeling, right?
Oh, no, I know, man. I grew up in Watts, California.
Yeah.
So I always see people, guys offer you a little weed, then they give you a little
I didn't mean literally.
burn it and turn it into crack.
I didn't mean literally. I just meant, if you give people racing for free, they're going to say, hey, I'm so awesome at racing for free. I should race for money.
Yeah,
I know.
We're going to make it as accessible as possible for the masses. But then it will take money to win money, or it will just take work and time. You can invest one of the two, money or time.
Just doing the math though, the founders cards are a hell of a lot more affordable than the character NFTs.
Yeah, they will be, because there's some things that I can only make this presentation so long. Yeah. I put in a lot of slides. We just kept going and going and going, and I could have done so much more.
I mean, I just, as a guy who doesn't really care about racing, me personally, the founders card is a no-brainer, and you don't have to ever race. Yeah. The founders card is a no-brainer, and you don't have to ever race. Do the founders all get a seat in the Hippodrome? Assigned seat? Yeah, I mean, you'll be able to view the race, yeah. Actually, it'd be kind of cool if you got the number on your the number on your founders card. That's what seat you got. That's your seat number? Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Al, you can work that out.
You should give all the founders a box. That way
yeah, Michael wrote that, a skybox.
Yeah, right. So all founders are going to get an NFT when we mint them. Okay. One of the sub-gods that you can race or put up for rent. And then
is it sub-god or demigod?
The demigod. There you go. That's the better word.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I go by logos or sub-logos.
I'm renting all day.
Yeah. So you'll be able to rent them out. And then with all of our NFT sales, all of our character sales of the Zeus and the Poseidon and all of that, everybody's going to get, who buys one, an Oculus 2 headset in the mail to be able to play this game in VR. You'll also be able to play it on your computer.
See, in my brain, this is ZB Social's purpose, to be the social of the game.
That's very interesting, Dan. I love it.
Because you need a reason to go to ZB Social. If Facebook closed tomorrow, that's a reason to go to ZB Social. Yeah. If you say you're buying NFTs, you have to register on ZB Social, that's a reason to go to ZB Social. Yeah, I like it. I do. I like it a lot. If you can only rent going to ZB Social, that's a reason to go to ZB Social. Yeah.
We should sell seats in the Hippodrome and have a big screen in there where advertisers can advertise their business, and we can make money off them. Kind of like the Super Bowl. They buy a little ad.
Yeah, well, the world is our oyster here as we move along through this. I mentioned we're going to have the end of the week championships, end of the month championships, end of the year championships, and we can always be changing our environment. Like if our coin were $10 at the end of the year, the annual winner would win over $4 million, right? And we could be racing, say, through the streets of Paris or Vegas or some other place. And we could totally have the crowd just hanging out of the buildings on platforms like the Thunderdome, whatever.
Right.
We're totally in control of our environments. It can become more and more and more spectacular.
Tim, you're going to email this recording out to everybody, probably, right?
Simone? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
John had asked. So.
yeah, Simone.
Chichichon.
I grew up in Phoenix and I worked hard, and all of my friends were south of the border. And I loved it.
All right, well, there's no more questions, so you know.
Cool. Edit the art out.
Chuck wants to have a weekly death race for extra points.
You know what I considered is actually having like one-on-ones or something for like ink slips.
I just want to be the guy in the crowd that puts his thumb down.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Better death race in between the hippodrome while the racers are racing.
Oh, that's it.
And you have two chariots standing to each other and with swords and all that, and maybe you see someone's
We could,
head
instead of the number one finger, we could have a thumb so people can hold it in the stands and put it up or down.
Yeah, you know what the hippodrome could also really be used for is jousting.
Yeah.
Like in between races.
Okay, seriously, now they're going to.
Yeah, it's just getting kind of stupid now. Yeah, a couple of thoughts on this. I think I guess he's about to finish up, but
Yeah.
a couple of thoughts on this is one, the game itself is, I guess you get paid in the tokens, and so and then you pay in tokens plus Ethereum or whatever coin they use. And what it sounds like to me is that this is a way to generate maybe supply and demand of the token, because I think that's how you'll be paid. But then the other part is, if you're a Zeus Bounty member, co-founder or founder, I'm a co-founder but not active, I think I would be really pissed because, Zeus Bounty was supposed to, bring all this extra revenue for you, and now he's just kind of put it to the side.
Yeah.
Now it's all about the NFT, which that's such a pipe dream. I mean, I think it's interesting. He's been at that number of around 100 people have bought into this for like 3 weeks
now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think people are convinced on this, and it's just, this is just, anyone that would spend their money on that, it's just, they must be brainwashed or something.
Well, first of all, you have to pony up the $1,000, and you're not getting anything for your $1,000 initially until this thing is completed. That's the problem that I'm having with it overall, is that, like, okay, if it was already completed, then I could start talking about it logically and at least somewhat. But because it's not, and it's just literally, a pipe dream, it's coming together supposedly, I don't have faith that it will. And
no, it's not.
So people could very easily just put in the money in that they just lost it. Now, granted, he did say at the beginning, don't basically be prepared to lose money, be prepared to lose everything. But I still don't think that's going to be able to protect him from the racket that he's actually running.
Well, and it's gambling also. Anytime that you have to pay money. So the whole idea of people spending all of this money is that they will win more money because they can win a chariot race and chariot races. And that's value. That's a token or whatever. I just don't think that this would pass any sort of test of whether or not this is gambling or not. It's going to, I think authorities would say this is definitely gambling, and I don't think it's legal.
Yeah. Well, authorities do know of Zeus's Bounty because that it's been information that I have has been passed on.
Yes.
Someone who knows people in the FTC, not saying that they're just coming in going shutting them down, but authorities are on alert, are aware of this particular one.
No, that's
And,
good. That's what we need is more people to. We need that awareness, right? I think that's
we
what
need
we
people.
need.
We need people complaining who've been part of Zeus's Bounty to contact their congressman, contact their representative, to contact the FTC, fill out a complaint. We need all of that. And I will bring up tomorrow, I'm having Dr. Bill Keep and also attorney Doug Brooks on, and we are going to be talking about the potential for there to be a new rule for multi-level marketing companies having to put out some sort of income disclosure, which they do. Some of them do put out an income disclosure right now, but they're not standardized. There's a lot of information that is not put out there. So tomorrow, if you have conversations, if you have questions about this sort of thing, about what does it mean, what is it, how can I help, please show up tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's what time we are going to start the Hey Hun, You Woke Up Victims Voices show, to have some of your questions answered about that and to have a discussion. And there is a link on my community tab. Roberta Blevins did a show earlier today, and she had Dr. William Keep on there and went over everything involved with this as well. And I mean, more things are being done. And let me drop a link in the chat that Michelle has put together a great site where she is putting out there everything involved around the potential ruling. And you can sign up there to keep apprised of what's going on, because the public cannot yet comment on this. It hasn't been posted yet, but once it is posted, we have 60 days to comment. Myself, I already have 4 pages of my comment done. I'm also going to record my comment and then overlay, just do a voiceover thing and show pictures of me when I was in Beachbody. And I will be sending that to my representative and to my congressperson. And I will have it available on YouTube for people to see if they want to do something like that. But I wanted to make sure that you guys are aware, and we need people really contacting the people who represent you. Those people who are elected in office, they want to stay in office. And so if we start talking about this and telling them we don't like it, chances are over time they're going to pay attention. The more of us that complain about it to them, that's going to give them the idea like, oh, this is a problem, instead of it just being kind of, on the back burner on most people's minds. And I know, Brian, I know you will be contacting yours and you will be telling your story to the FTC. We just really need more and more and more of that.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing that. And it's not that difficult to do that. And so I appreciate personally that you sent me the information on how to go about that. And so that's what I've been working on the last couple of days. And so I think besides the FTC, going to my congressperson and making them aware, and I think if other people can do that, it will it'll make an impact. Like you said,
it's that whole squeaky wheel. We need to be the squeaky wheel,
Yes.
Anyway, I want to say thank you to my mods. Thank you to everybody who participated in the chat. And especially a thank you, Brian, so much for being here. And I'm going to be keeping my eye on Zeus's Bounty. And if you get more information, things start happening, please reach out and let me know, because we can hop on at any point and, talk about like the latest happenings in Zeus's Bounty.
Yeah, I will definitely do that. And especially because like I said, I don't know how I can actually close it out. So I definitely will keep my ears and eyes open, and we'll let you know what's going on with Zeus's bounty. And I think now it's going to be more of the Zeus chariot more than
Right.
Zeus's
That's what
bounty.
it
It
sounds
sounds
like.
like. Yeah,
That's
but
what it
I'll
sounds
keep you up to speed on this.
perfect. Well, everyone, thank you so much for being here. And don't forget, you're beautiful and I love you. And come back tomorrow to hear me talk to Doug and to Bill. And we will just keep this party going. Have a wonderful rest of your evening and good night.